feel like sitting. I'm always one of the last ones to perform, so this is a little weird. Anywho, so I have three poems for everybody today, and the first one is more of an imaginative poem. I don't know, I've been looking at a lot of abstract art, and I just feel like there's so much you can picture in it, and so this one is more, think of it as more of an abstract poem. So this one is called Butterfly Breasts. Her stare lingers in the misty air, fluttering towards blind suitors. The snare she offers can't compare with figures made of glass and glue. Her hands grace their barren lands, strumming a song to words forgotten. One bland face, made of lifeless sands, awakens to the sound of feminine spells. He groans as his body fades from stone, stretching up into a sun-filled sky. All alone, with dying dreams to be known, his hope is tenderly held in her soft palms. His fear makes her smile draw near, overwhelmed by a creature so rare. Love's spear has made the world clear as he holds her butterfly body close. So, on a more serious note, I think heartbreak is often one of the biggest forms of inspiration. And unfortunately, I recently ended a relationship which was sad, as it is for everybody. But I think, when you go through so many stages of like grief and anger and confused, and then somehow also pining again, and then you're just kind of like, what is happening? So I think after a couple months of processing everything, I finally ended on more of a bittersweet note. So I wrote so many poems, and all of them were terrible. None of them were good. They're just all over the place. And I feel like I'm finally at a place of peace. And this poem finally captures that feeling. So it's called Lilac, Sky, and Indigo Night. Cried to the lilac sky when you hugged me goodbye, and whispered I was born to swim and you to fly. We think love is here to stay till it dances away, and our golden hour soon becomes gray. My toes, avoiding the glass of our torn past, cuts hearts on wedding rings and opinions too fast. The future was covered in a chilly morning's haze, never witnessing the sun's clarifying rays. Your eyes stared into space when all I wanted was to be chased. But our life was on different tracks and we were running a different race. We think love will never slow and never cease, but our messy stories aren't a masterpiece. Cried into the indigo night when you hugged me tight, and you worried our friendship would disunite. But my old-time lover and long-time mate, who says what once before we can't recreate. On a lighter note, children's books are fun, aren't they? I think they're, even though we can sometimes look at children's books and think they're so simple, they're so cute, I think that there's a sense of nostalgia and comfort in a lot of literature, especially for children. It doesn't mean that it's less thoughtful, if we should say so. So, inspired by the cold and being in a cold apartment with lots of blankets, here's a poem called Fuzzy Blanket. Mainly written for children, we'll see. Fuzzy blanket keeps me warm all through the night. Fuzzy blanket keeps me up till winter morning's light. Fuzzy blanket makes my toes feel warm. Fuzzy blanket laughs and giggles at any winter storm. Fuzzy blanket acts as my finest robe and hero's cape. Fuzzy blanket even ventures with me onto frozen landscape. Fuzzy blanket cuddles my family during games and fun. Fuzzy blanket is friends with everyone. Fuzzy blanket acts like a friend when I'm feeling blue. Fuzzy blanket, thank you for all the things that you do. Thank you.